In every neighborhood around the state, election season is almost over.
It is possible.
But for Hamline political science professor David Schultz, nearly every season is election season.
I actually spend a lot of time looking at the numbers. That what I'll try to look at is who's won a district in the past. Try to make some anticipations there.
Determining how people are going to vote, however, isn't an exact science. Looking at historical data is one thing, but now you have political parties endorsing candidates for offices traditionally considered to be nonpartisan, such as city council or school board seats.
We used to try to build some kind of firewalls in place to say that we're going to create nonpartisan positions so that we wouldn't let sort of party politics get in the way. But what's happened is we've become so polarized. People have come to think of the world in terms of Democrat and Republican, that we're now even seeing organizations that don't normally think about getting involved, feeling like they basically have to have an imprint. And part of it is because they want to influence public policy.
Schultz says we are now in an era where many voters go straight down the line on their ballots. If they support the president, for example, they'll vote for every candidate in the same political party.
We used to have a more frequent era where people would split ticket vote. And so part of the strategy here now also by organizations, party organizations endorsing further down is they're hoping to what? Hoping to motivate people to show up to vote, hoping to basically get people to make these choices for candidates, even in positions they might not normally vote on.
There's a lot at stake in this election, particularly when it comes to the Minnesota legislature. Currently, the Republicans control the Minnesota Senate by 3 seats, but the DFL hopes to flip that.
I think at the end of the day, the Democrats probably have to win probably about 4 seats in the Senate, anticipating that they might lose at least 1 or 2 of their own. So it's a very, very tough one, not impossible. We saw 2 years ago the Democratic wave go through the suburbs and put the Democrats back in control of the House. It is possible with the Senate.
The outcome of the state legislative races could also have a lasting impact for years to come. Next year, the legislature has to redraw congressional lines. And Schultz predicts that Minnesota will lose a seat in Congress due to population shifts. And the legislature would have to determine which of Minnesota's 8 members of Congress doesn't get to come back.
That is going to be an intense political battle. And if it's all Democrats, well, at that point, you know who's going to lose. It's going to be a Republican who's going to lose a seat, versus if it's deadlocked, either the courts are going to do it or it's going to be a compromise.
DeLay in Cleveland, CCX News.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.